Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. So, I have realized that it has been a while since we have given you an update on Miss D. We have had her for over a month now, almost a month and a week, maybe even a little longer than that. I'm noticing that I'm not, like, when we got the twins, I was just so like hyped up about it and super excited that I think I was more on top of the documenting. And it's not that I'm not super excited about the situation, but I think I'm just trying to soak it all in. I'm trying to be there for her, just at every moment or whatever needs she has. And I'll admit, this whole like quarantine thing, I think it just kind of adds a little bit of a damper, maybe even a little bit of a depression to the whole thing. So I haven't been on top of updates for Miss D as much as I was for the twins, and honestly probably as much as I would like to be. So this is a little bit over a month update, and and there's some other things I'm gonna put in there too. She is doing phenomenal. We have had our difficulties and challenges, but I think everybody does. And she's down here laying on her bed by my feet. And so if I smile or look down, that's why. And so when she first came to us, when I first saw her in the foster home that we went to, she was super tense, like very rigid. And my first thought was, oh, it's a little worse off situation than I think what I was originally led to believe, or at least from what I was told, what I ended up believing. So just a minute, hold that thought. So anyways, it was not exactly what I had expected. And I kind of looked at Dan like, can we do this? Is this gonna be okay? And he gave me the reassuring look of, we're here, we're gonna do this. This is gonna work out. And the first week or so, it was tough, but it wasn't so much because of having her. It was, we had her plus the twins plus Thomas. And in the US they have different levels and different types of foster care. And I'm was kind of thinking back, like, man, we would have been considered a major therapeutic home with none of that training and just anyways, it was hard. The first couple of weeks were very hard. One, Miss D was adjusting. Two, the twins had very clingy personalities at the time, and so it was very tough at times. But we knew that going into it, the twins would be transitioning to a different home. And so, we're like, okay, we can do this, we can, for this amount of time or whatever, we'll get through this and it'll work out. And it did. But after the transition out of our home, I realized that I needed to make the transition and be super intentional about spending time with Misty, because we really hadn't had that super bonding time. And I've watched enough videos. I'm not much of a reader, but I'm like really trying to watch different videos on people that have fostered, different people that have adopted, you know, read different short things and get as many ideas. And I know and understand how important bonding is. And I was kind of scared because of the situation and because of how things worked out. We hadn't really spent a whole lot of bonding time when before the twins came into our home. I decided right then and there that I was going to take off 3 days from teaching and just, you know, spend some time with them. And then there's online teaching and how that's different. We really don't have the extra people on hand to sit there and say, yeah, sure, you need to take off that time, you know, I'll cover this or that. Because I've been a sub with online teaching, and it's hard, and it's good when you can be there for those people, but I also know that we don't have, sorry, I'm trying to move this microphone so you can hear me better. I also know that we don't have, you know, those people in abundance to sub. So that's not an expectation I wanted to put on anybody, and I wanted to try to carry my load as much as I could. And so fast forward a little bit, after the twins made the transition to the new home and everything, I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure out what I can and do what I can to have a special bonding time with Misty. So I decided that I would go to school in the morning and get my school stuff done, and then come home either before lunch if I hadn't ordered lunch at school that day, or right after lunch, and come home and take a nap with her. And so that has worked pretty well, except the last few days she has decided that she doesn't want to take a nap. But I think that I'm home more and around more has made a difference. I've been taking her, if I go to a friend's house for Bible study or whatever, I take her with me. We've had prayer time at school, and so I've made an effort to take her with me, and just, you know, keep her with me as much as I can, like you would a newborn. You know, like, you're not going to leave your newborn at home when you go to do this or that. Now, there will be, you know, times when I want to go to the grocery store or whatever. Excuse me. Because I feel like now that's like the only thing I can do to do anything, like get out of the house. And so, but I am trying to be really intentional about bonding. You know, Dan's home in the evenings, so he's the one that gives her a bath, which is for bonding purposes, and also the fact that because we are dealing with a level of cerebral palsy, it's really hard for me to give her a bath completely by myself, because you have to, you know, lift her up and support her and that kind of thing. So I'm very thankful that he's a hands-on father and is willing to cover bath time for all the kids. That's pretty much been his department. And he'll also help me, you know, put her in her chair and lift her up and that kind of thing, and maneuver her. So that helps me, because you know, with my cerebral palsy, my strength isn't exactly where I would like it to be with helping Misty, but you know, we're a team. We're working things out together and figuring it out, and so that has been really good for us. But overall, like I said before, she came to us very rigid and not moving a whole lot, but we have seen her roll over. We have seen her working on sitting up independently. We have seen her have the desire to go from a laying position to a sitting position and want to work on that. We have seen her excitement when she's in her standing frame. Yeah, and just eagerness to be on her feet and to move her feet. She no longer screams when we go to move her legs into Indian style, and so, or cross-legged. It's probably not called Indian style anymore. That's what it was called like when I was in kindergarten, but cross-legged. And so she still hates physical therapy, but honestly, if we're, having a heart-to-heart here, I do too. And so I don't blame her for that. But just because she dislikes it does not mean that it won't happen. And we're still, working with her and trying to figure out different things. And yeah, hopefully she'll come a long way. And, we're praying that maybe the Lord would open the door for us to adopt her. We would love that. And yeah, so it has been a good month and a week. And she's continuing to make great strides. The only area that I am struggling with is nothing specifically to do with her. It's just realizing what type of situation we're in. We are not in the US. We are not in the land of plentiful resources, and we've had to get really creative. Her standing frame, we had to have made. And so I'm at the point where I would love to have a gait trainer for her, and then eventually a walker. I would love to have, like a special seat to help her sit on the floor. There's just so many different resources out there. And I guess for me, I'm trying not to, sorry, just dropped her bear. I'm trying not to Google everything out there, and I'm trying not to spend my free time or just time when I'm sitting down with her, looking at everything, because a couple of reasons. We don't have the resources to buy it in country. So it would have to be shipped here. So we'd have to pay for shipping. And then who knows how many weeks that would take. And medical equipment is super expensive. The basic plain walkers, we're talking at least $100, $150. And then it goes up from there. But what she needs right now, which is a gait trainer, you're looking at the very basic gait trainer to be around $2,000 plus. And so it's a realization of we don't have that money. We don't want to go in more debt for something like this. I know insurance would help cover some of it, but you have to meet your deductible. And so it's just the different challenges and things that come with that. Okay, did we do this? Or I'm trying really hard to possibly find somebody that could possibly build us, something similar. And it's hard because, there's all these people that are looking for jobs, and I'm like, hey, I need help. I need this built or this done. And I don't feel like I'm heard. I feel like, yeah, people are like, yeah, whatever. This might be a country where, kids in her situation, kids in her circumstance, those needs are not met or taken care of until they're 6 or 8 years old. And that might be acceptable here, but that's not acceptable in my heart. I look at her and I know how much potential, and I know how far she can go and how much she can be pushed. And I'm like, okay, let's get this and this and this so we can get things moving and going. Even with therapy, I would love to have her in therapy 2 to 3 times a week, and the therapist is like, sorry, we can only do it once a week. And so that's just, it's a little discouraging to my heart. I'm grateful for the intervention and the help that she's getting, but part of me is like, okay, Lord, let's just get her adopted and get her to the U.S. so that we can do the different things and have the different resources and just, yeah, so I would appreciate your prayers. I would appreciate your prayers that you would pray that I would have patience, because it's definitely not all happening in my timing. I pray that I would have patience with her as, you know, we're working through things. I pray that I would have patience with the doctors and the therapists here and know that they are trying their best with the resources that they have, which are very limited. And I'm also praying that the Lord would provide, that there would be, you know, some way to get her a gait trainer and eventually a walker and possibly a special stroller and just the different resources that are out there so that we can meet her full potential. Because I'm looking at pictures and things of me in the past and just knowing all the different things that my parents have done for me so that I was able to go far, and I'm, you know, able to accomplish everything that I'm still accomplishing. So anyways, sorry this is a little bit of a long video, but Misty is doing wonderful. We are loving having her in our home, and we are just super excited to see where the Lord continues to take her and us. So that's it for today. We'll talk to you next time. Bye. God bless. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.